Alright, well, this is a Teac. First of all, this is Old Electronics fan. Thanks for joining me. This is a Teac WC500C stereo double cassette deck. That's their description on there. And the cover is off. I've looked at this previously and somehow managed to not record it. I don't know what happened. I guess I may have forgotten. Who knows? When I first got this, hitting the buttons did nothing. It acted really dead. I don't even know if I had lights. Find out about that in a minute. So, to get at the power supply part of the board on this board down below, this has to come off. It's going to have to come off anyway because what I have to do to this. So I ordered new belts for it. So I measured the voltage coming out of the bridge rectifier at 22 volts. So I decided that since it did look like there was power, I needed to look elsewhere. Now, neither one of these pulleys, this one or this one, had belts on it. But I just happened to have my fingers resting on this, and I hit the power button. I felt the motor rotate for a second. In fact, see, I can get that down there so you can see it. Actually, got to plug it in too. That would help a lot. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to power it on. And you see the motor runs for just a second and then stops. Without this belt on here, well, this belt is identified as a fast forward and rewind. And when I opened this up, there was a really soggy goo left of the belt here and down on the pulley. And I didn't really have the right belts for it. So I just came up with, well, I'm looking for a tape I can just throw in there. Just something to put in there. Not you. I'm just curious about something. So now if I power it on, yeah, so that works. Alright, now here's the thing that I have a question about. Oh yeah, so there are lights over there. And the question is, can I run this with just one fast forward rewind belt? And we'll find out. This belt obviously is not the right thing for this. It's too fat, it's too heavy. This cassette drive over here doesn't want to, alright. So alright, let's see what happens. So I got that free. Alright, now if I try to play, oh, it does, okay. Alright, I wasn't sure if, so here's my question. If I only have this one belt, if I hit play, will it play? And it does, which I don't think you can see. Of course, if I try to hit this side, let me just throw the tape in there, and obviously I won't have fast forward and rewind. Will it play the tape? Oh, it does. Oh, stop. That tape is not, oh, okay. You don't want to do that. This demonstrates why you don't want to run, even though this side will run without that belt. If you don't have a belt on one side, you don't want to put a tape in there, because not only is that the fast forward rewind belt, it's also the belt that runs this side of the drive and it keeps tension on the tape so it won't spool out, which is what this one was trying to do. So what's the point of all of that? Oh, yeah. I don't know if, let's flip this up. Can I get it to where you can see it? Probably not. I don't know. Okay, I want to see which one of these. Maybe I can go down here. Let's see, can we see this one better? Yeah, alright. You can still see in here the black from the leftover material from the belt. But one of the interesting things I wanted to share with you was, I had some left. The spray bottle, the sprayer on this thing failed, so I put it in a generic bottle. But this was my awesome soap, which is pretty much gone. But I started out using alcohol on these pulleys and down there, and it worked, kind of. So I decided, well, what the heck, I'll try this. And it worked. Then I thought, well, I've got another cleaner here, all-purpose cleaner, cuts grease. Well, that worked. I tried that, and it also works. So the cleaners seem to work better than the alcohol. They do talk about making sure that you clean the pulleys. Did they mention it here? They don't say. Okay. One of the things they do is they include, I've got these belts from Turntables and Needles, and they include alcohol pads so that you can clean the belts and remove the residue from the old belts that are there. I thought they said something about that, but they did not. Somewhere I read that they recommend that you clean the pulleys with alcohol to remove the residue, and then you can put the new belts in without fear. But one of the things I'm not crazy about this unit is, well, a lot of them are this way though. So this belt out here you can get in, you could replace pretty easily. It goes around the open end of the pulley down there, and then you put it around here and you're good to go. But these are not so easy. So that is where we get into a little bit of work, or a lot of work actually. So I'm going to try as much as I can to do this from this position, so you see what I'm doing more or less. Oh, stop it. I'm grabbing stuff and flinging them around my bench. Not ideal. Alright, so the circuit board has to come loose, and there's 2 screws here. I should probably find a spot to throw these. And alright. Now, I've got a number of cassette decks, and you may be wondering, why do I want one more? Well, this was available and I decided to get it. And actually it's a very nice sounding unit. It seems to work well. It'd probably work a whole lot better with the right belts. Well, let me just show you where I was poking around for power, just in case you want to know. And there's the bridge rectifier, and I clipped my little hook clips on there, and it marks the plus and the minus there, and I got 22 volts, and it was at that point I thought, I've got power, so I power cycled it again, and I saw those motors move, actually had my finger resting against one of those, and I realized that the motors were turning, but it still got me puzzled as to why why it wouldn't do anything when I first got it. So this screw down here is attached to this bracket that I'll show you in a minute. This has to come out, and now this bracket is this bracket right here. That's that screw that I just took out. Let's go here. And you'll probably notice that I didn't try to get that fat belt out, that O-ring that I was using. And the reason is simple. It would be a real pain in the neck to get it out. I already know that. I tried to. Okay, so I think the other thing I want to do now is stop that. On the bottom there are two screws. Oh, the other thing I found out investigating this little cassette deck, which appears to be a rather nice little deck, but it's not terribly popular. And I don't know if there's problems with it, or just, who knows. Maybe it was competing against the likes of Sony and Pioneer and didn't do well. I'm not sure. Okay, so this comes out. Now, but in any event, it really didn't. Well, for one thing, they sell for really cheap. I mean, $30 or $40, and and there's not a lot of information on these. There's a number of variations on these. They made more than one cassette deck that looks like it's identical to this, but they had different model numbers, and that's kind of puzzling to me. And they did have different features, and I don't remember all the different features, but they did. All right, so now the next thing I want to do is, pretty sure that's where I want to go. Yes. All right. So there's a screw here and a screw here, and I think that one and that one. So there's four. Let's see, we'll back up a little bit more. So we take this one, that one, all four of those out. So, a little odd. I'm not sure why this thing didn't do well in the market. Just don't really know. But we'll find out. I mean, like, I had this playing, and then I'll have to grab a different tape. That one seems to be unhappy. Although with new belts on here, I should be able to fast forward and rewind it. If you run into a cassette tape that's not cooperating, not playing very well, it's really slow, it drags a lot, one of the things you can do is you can run through fast forward and then run through rewind to get the tape packed on there the way it should be, and then it should work a lot better. So the problem where the problem happens with the cassette tapes is if you play it and stop, or you back it up and then stop and then play sections of it, and if you're moving around a lot like that, then what happens is the tape gets packed on the pulley unevenly, and this one doesn't look that bad. Well, it could be simply that these belts are just not healthy, and let me just check something here. Yeah, I think my problem is that these belts are not healthy. Let's see here. So now I've had this apart once because when I was cleaning this, when I was trying to clean this, I was trying to avoid getting all that garbage on the pulley down there. This belt fell off, and I was having a hard time getting it back on. And I didn't really want to get it into the remains of that old dead belt, so I took this all apart and got the belt where I wanted it to be. So, so what can I do here? I think what I'm going to do, or try to do, let's see, can I do it this way? Maybe not. I know I did it once, and it's not being very cooperative right now. So I've got to get down here to this screw, and there's another screw down here, a pair of them actually, it looks like. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to do the same thing down here. There's one there, one there. Can I get in there? Let's see what that is. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. That connector was off. I must have done that. Ooh, that's bad. Oh, here's what I can do, I think. Let's try this. Since these are all, oh, not all. Yeah, this is my problem right here. Okay, let's try something. I'm going to, there's 2 screws, one here and one here. And let's see if I can get into those. And if I can get that loose, that might help me. Because I want to rotate that further around than it wants to let me. And let's go. All right. Are you going to? Oh, I bet is there a button that holds that in place? Yeah, right. Well, does not want to let go. I'm pretty sure that has to come off. I want to get that out of there. Well, how much do I want to start with that? Not that much. I might have another idea though. Where did I put it? I know it's now in here. Oh, there you go. This. An angled Phillips. Maybe I can get down there this way. That way? Yes. Okay. Well. I don't know how I got it off the first time. I really didn't want to fight with it this time. Oh, I know. Will this one work? Those little stubby screwdrivers work sometimes, but other times not so much. Come on. No? Well, maybe this will work. There's a lot of different ways you can try to do this. Once you get it loose, yes, that's the way. Use a straight blade jeweler screwdriver just big enough to fit the slot. And that takes care of it. Yep. Okay, that's that side. Now, how about this side? Can I do the same thing there? Yeah, maybe. Wish I could get in there closer, but I don't see a good way of doing that. Yes. Alright, now this can flip over this way. And then I'll get my straight blade in there. Yeah. That is so much fun, really. And you do kind of have to pay attention because that screw is not like the others. It's very long. Oops. Very long. I think I got the bottom one loose. Let's see how that does. If you don't have patience, this is not the job for you, because you're going to need it. Alright, so I know the screw fell out because this came out. And I also see that. Alright, so that should mean oh, I bet there's another screw on the bottom. Is that true? Yes, there is. They did that just to drive us nuts, I'm pretty sure. So get my hand on that so it doesn't just drop out on me. Well, I didn't have my hand on it. So you now notice that the little belt fell right out. So if you have experimented with belts that are a little too fat to go in there, and you know you need to replace all of them anyway, just do that. Now let's take a look at, I'm going to lay this down, so I want to do a better job of cleaning this than I did before. Well, let's zoom in some more so I can show you what I want you to see. Now, I probably don't need to deal with this. But I'm pretty sure you can see all that black goo that's down in there. If I get my smaller screwdriver, you can see a lot of gunk. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, if I can. I'm going to try my cleaner. And then get a cloth in there and maybe get in there, clean it. Oh yeah. So if I get that skinny, whoops, yeah, you can't see what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm just trying to get this little screwdriver in here, clean the rest of that gunk out of there. And you can see it climbing the wall there quite nicely. And there it is. So, I really wish you had, I wish my original recording had actually, my original attempts at getting this cleaned up had recorded, because then you would have seen much better that the soap does a very nice job actually cleaning this up. I mean, the only real reason for doing this is if I'm trying to get my other belt on that pulley and decides to slide off into here. I mean, it probably wouldn't have gotten any on it, but if I can avoid causing myself some problems, that's what I want to do. Unfortunately, this stuff got in here because when I was trying to clean this pulley, it got went up the sides of the pulley and then down in. So that was really not nice of it. Enough. Let's try a different spot. Try to use my fingernail on it. That stuff, I don't know what that is. I don't know what they made those belts of. Well, I'll tell you what, it does not like to leave. Even though this cleaner does do a better job, it still doesn't like to go away very easily. I think that's going to be good enough. Now, just for the fun of it, well, I've got these little alcohol pads. Let's see how they work. Single use alcohol prep, 70%. So that's the same. This is 70% alcohol, and that's the same as what I have in my container of isopropyl. But why not? Okay, so we can try you. Well, that worked pretty good. Better than I thought it would. Based on what happened when I used my isopropyl on it, it didn't come out very well. And alcohol definitely does work. But when I was playing around with the different ways to clean it, at least initially the soap seemed to do a better job. So I think I can call that good. Alright. Interesting. So if you get belts that come with a nice also isopropyl cleaning pad, it sure doesn't hurt to use it. So there's that. I think it's nice and clean now. So fun. Now, one of the things that will happen when you remove this is your flywheel will want to slide out. That's what mine is doing. So now we need to slide this back up in there. And I'm just going to back up a little bit. All right, so, well, okay, so I've got my new belts, and now I've taken this all apart based on the theory that they're sending me the right stuff. I sure hope so. The reason I'm concerned about that is, like I said, it's hard to find any information on this. There just doesn't seem to be much. Alright, now there's my pulley, and hiding down there is my motor, and I really can't get in there to show you. But let's do a little comparison. So this is my new belt. It's actually pretty sturdy. This is thinner, but I think you can see that the new belt is shorter than the old one, and that's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Now I have other cassette decks that I've done this to, and oh, okay, fine. That wasn't going to work very well, was it? Let's have this on there. It was a lot easier to get to things on those. They were, I think in one of them I had 2 screws that I could get at to very easily, and took the plate off, took the old belt off, put the new belt on. Good, quick and easy. This one not so much. So I'm using a spring hook to try to grab this, put it around that pulley. Come on. There. If you don't have one of these, I probably said it before, but if you don't have one of these, it really wouldn't hurt to get one, because they're very helpful. Alright, so try to look at this a little bit better. Stop it. Yeah. So because that new belt is tighter, heavier duty than the other one, it's more of a pain to deal with. I don't know if I'm looking at the right thing now. Oh, there you are. Alright, so I had to pull this out. So the belt, yeah, you didn't see what I was doing because I was aimed at the wrong one. That's the trouble when you get 2. You have a 50-50 chance of being wrong. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a screw up in here just to keep that in place, because I want to go over this one, this pulley here, because it's also kind of messy. And I'm pretty sure that is yeah, okay, that's what I want. Okay, let's come on. No. You can't see a thing I'm doing. Sorry. No, that's not it. Wrong screw. Okay. Stop it. And I could put that clip has got to be there at some point, but I think I'm just going to stick that there for now, just to keep that from going away on me. So I really want to get this cleaned more better. Surprised that my soap isn't doing as good a job. Let me try the other one. I've got a little bit left. Let's find out which one is better. I wish I could remember the name of that stuff without the label. I don't know. Okay. There's not much left. Oh yeah, this does work better. Okay. Alright, well, yeah. The Awesome soap works better, a lot better. Not sure why I thought both of them worked well, but this was a good test. That works better than alcohol, it definitely does. It really does. Well, I hope I have enough to finish both sides. So it'd be nice. Yeah, it definitely works better. Well, I wasted a lot of time on that other one using the wrong soap. I wonder. I'm going to try something. I may regret it, but I'm going to try it. I have a brush. I probably want to use one longer bristles, and I'm going to try it with alcohol. That worked better. Well, I'll have to remember that too. Remember that little trick as well. Okay, well, that was fun. Not. Okay, so now, alright, here's my fast forward rewind belt. So what we want to do now is I think that goes like that. Okay. Come on. Let me try this one. It says an interesting pusher hook to it. Maybe that will work. So I don't try to push the wrong thing. Yeah. Oops. No. No, no, no. Don't go there. Go there. Alright. Can we get you to go there? Ha. Maybe. Now. That was fun. I think I've said that multiple times. Well, let me tell you how I really feel. That was not fun. It was a pain. So what I'm going to do now is, this should be the one that was on the bottom. Alright, so I've got that in place. This is in place, so that should mean these other ones are going to line up. And I know this fell off. I think this one's on the bottom. I think I have to lay this down so I can get at what I need to get at, I think. Unless it's up here. I'm not sure. Oh, let's go look at this one. And yes, it is down there. That's nice when you got two of them, and you can go and look. Remind yourself. So the question I have now is, note to self, remember what you were doing. With what? Okay. I have found over the years many uses for the screwdrivers. Not the least of is doing something like this. All right. So I think what I want to do is maybe I wonder, can I get that from maybe? Well, that has to go. Let's do that. Okay, now the other thing I did, which I didn't really need to do, I remember this control not being all that great. I don't know if I dare try to pull it free this way. It's coming, okay. Yeah. Okay. Probably there. There it is. It actually came out. I guess I should have worked it that harder. But I remember trying to clean this control, and it really didn't want to. It didn't want to do it. All right. Still haven't gotten around to getting the oxidant that's designed specifically for faders. Probably should do that at some point. All that for that. Well, anyway. And I'm pretty sure that has, yes, those are, yes, plastic screws. Well, we'll find out in a minute if that's going to work. All right. Let's see, where do I have to go to get to that screw? Maybe I can do it this way, offset. Maybe. Get this out of the way. It's down at the bottom. I'm going to try this one, see if I can get it to fit in there because it's being magnetized. Oops. And sometimes it's a pain. Get metal nearby, it wants to go there. See where you want it. Aha. That in. I don't know when that came off. Alright, let's see. So we got that in all the way. Oh, I got to put this back on. I'll play with that later once I get this all assembled. And of course that popped out again. Great. Alright, do I have everything in place that I need to have in place? Come on. I guess when you're working on this, make sure all of your clips are in place because they have a tendency to disconnect. They don't clip very strongly, it seems. Okay, now, where are we? I think, let's see. All right. So now, what I want to do, I think, well, I can do a couple things. I can, let's see. Now this has a little hook on the bottom, and slide over. Actually, it's not going to work because all the wires are pointing on it, and that's not going to do. Alright, so let's take this out. The plastic panels have to go on the outside of the metal plate. And let's see. Okay, we're going to back up because I can't. So I've got 4 screws that have to go in here. Except those are okay. Alright, the top 2 are plastic shred thread, and the middle 2 are fine thread. You really need to pay attention to that, because if you put a plastic thread screw, coarse thread screw into a fine thread hole, well, bad things happen to the threads, you know, pretty obvious. Okay. I hope the other 2 go in, no problems. Yes. It was kind of them to actually slot these screws a little, these holes a little bit, so that well, in one direction they did it. Invariably, when I tighten up the other 2 screws, when you have 4 screws that you're working with, the other 2 screws don't want to go in properly. So you have to go loosen the other 2. Alright. Okay. Alright. Well, we're not quite done. We've got 2 more screws we have to put in here, because this plate's got a little hook on the bottom, and it slides into that slot that's in the bottom. And it goes in like that. It goes up there. But let's actually, to keep it from going away on us, I'm going to put the screws in the top here. That way, when I go to the bottom and I go to put that in, it'll be there. And it won't have gone away. Alright, now, so let's go to the bottom. Those 2 screws have to go in. Now, I have to put, there's a screw that goes in here that supports this circuit board on the bracket that I just installed. So, put that in place. Okay, then put this in place. All right, now before I plug this in, I'm going to look around, make sure. What's nice is all the screws have been put in. That's a good sign. I haven't forgotten anything. Oh, I'll tighten these up. Oh, they are tight. Okay, good. All right, I want to check. Get out of the way. Go away. Put that back. So, where do I want to check? First place I want to check is over here at these connectors. And it's just washing out. Seeing that these like to just pop out on their own, and whenever you're playing around with something that's stressing wires, it doesn't hurt. For instance, these wires right here, they have just well, they've got a ground, a shield, and then the signal line, and they're not very thick, so I don't see anything wrong. These are for the headphones and the microphone. Okay, everything looks good there. It's far too easy to forget things, especially when you're doing this kind of a disassembly like I just did. There are things that will get away from you and it won't make you happy. So the next thing I want to do, everything looks good there, everything looks good there. So what I'm doing is just simply rotating the flywheel, and I'm checking that one of two things, that this belt is indeed around the motor, and I can tell that for sure even without looking in there by watching this white pulley right here and making sure that spins. That looks good. Alright, so I've got a knob to put back on. Let's see, somewhere on there. Okay, that's close enough. Okay, I want to find a different tape from that one, I guess. I need to bring this down. Alright, now, okay, well, let's take a quick look at the front of this because I didn't do that. When I was working on this, That's where I got into trouble, I think. Alright, I had put the belts on here that weren't the ones that really belonged there, but I put them on, and I think I had a tape in there. The continuous play button was down, and that took off playing even though I didn't tell it to. That surprised me. The jack buttons here and here. The counter is only, as usual, on a dual deck on the side that you're recording on, which is this side. Soft touch controls, IC logic. You got record mute, dub start. So because you can copy from this tape to this tape, or from here to here. And all of your typical dub controls, speed high or normal, Dolby noise reduction. All these years of playing with that, the only thing I've found that Dolby seems to do is it makes it muddier. And maybe if you record it with Dolby on and then play it back with it off, maybe that will help make it a cleaner recording. I don't recall in a long time. Then your different types of tapes. And the counter is working on this. Alright, so I think let's see, we want to, alright. Okay. And let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the motors both ran. Okay. Good. Output. Okay, there it is. Well, that works. I may want a different tape. This one seems to be a bit noisy. Okay. Yeah, I want something. Also, when I had the wrong belts on, this side was really slow. I want to make sure that. Oh, I know. I want to make sure that it's playing at normal speed. Of course, I won't be able to play this for very long. This is America. They were popular back when I was a lot younger. It sounds better. It sounds odd. I think you just pull the bottom off. Yes. So you can't see down there, but I'm trying to get my cap stand cleaned. Let me. And the other thing about this is that you can slide this internal cover off, and because if you want to clean inside here, which actually this does need to be, I'm not going to deal with that right now, because I'm not going to do anything with it right now. Let's throw that in there. See, let's see here. Different song. That's the only downside about a cassette. You can't just hit next song, please. dirty. Didn't notice that before. Okay, so that's that side. Let's switch over to here and see if it sounds the same. Sounds good to me. And let's see. Did I switch sides? I don't want to clean these. I thought I cleaned these before, but apparently it's not happy. Now, before I took this all apart to put new belts in it, I played this for a bit. This left side was working pretty well. Even with that scrawny little belt for fast forward and rewind, it was working very well, actually. So I played it quite a while and it sounds good. Eek. I don't know if you can see, but that's filthy. That's filthy. Alright, well, I'll clean that up after. Tell me. Right now, my bass and my tone controls are set in the middle. It sounds very nice. So I've got a song. I've just started it. Let's see that both of these sound the same. People say that sounds slow. You don't care. That's not good. Trying to see if I can tell if one's stiffer than the other. Not rotating as freely. Everything looks okay, but okay. So this is my, I actually found it. I'm kind of shocked. This is my test tape that I made, and I have no idea how many songs I have on here. I had no idea. I don't remember what tape player I recorded this on, but it did a decent job apparently. This is the side that was misbehaving. It wasn't sounding good, and then ultimately seemed like that maybe the tape was the culprit, but they played okay here and not okay there. I'm going to just yeah, okay. Let me see, I guess. That doesn't sound good. And I don't remember what cassette player I recorded this on, so I don't know if I'm dealing with that too. Yeah, this is faster. Let's find out if it's tape player or something else. Okay. Could even be the recording, for all I know. I'm going to have to probably make something better. Now it's fine. Alright, let's see. Let's just see. It This sounds like it's going slower. Yep, it is. You can tell the beat is just a lot faster. Okay, well, new belts, but it's not working right. Does this have... okay, no. I thought maybe there'd be, yeah, no. Well, this is a little bit puzzling because I was kind of thinking that the fast forward rewind was also a feedback for speed, but it would seem I'm wrong. I don't believe that may not be the case. Well, I'm trying to show you what I believe I found. Well, pretty sure this is what is going on. Right? Okay, let me get my pointer so I can show you. Right down there. Can I see? Good grief. It's hard to see down in there. Okay. Can I get more light, maybe? Maybe. Alright, I think. Right there, where the end of my pointer is the belt. The belt should actually be kind of where my pointer, the center of my pointer is. Yeah, man, it's just not. Yeah, there we go. All right. This is what we want right here. The drive on this, as you saw when I was cleaning it, is ball-shaped. And you can kind of see it behind the belt. The belt is actually, there's a collar right there to the left edge of that belt. And it's riding right against that. And it needs to be riding right about here. Belt needs to be right about there. So let me put back on the camera, and I'll show you what happens when you get it where it belongs. So this is the, and it also affects this. Look down here. There's a capstan pulley, flywheel. That's where a belt runs right now. Now listen to this. See where the belt goes? If I push on the motor this way, it brings it back to where it's supposed to be. So the question is it the rubber grommets that are the problem? I mean, it's kind of a lousy design because they only have two rubber grommets, one on top, one on the bottom. If I were designing this, I would have a third one, probably on the back side of the motor, because that's where all the load is. Yeah, okay, I don't know what you're doing that for. And when you push it forward like this, it also increases the tension on this and makes fast forward and rewind work better. So yeah, and they're both doing the same thing. This one, because I tried to oil the motor shaft, this one has oil on it, which is not a good thing. I tried to get the oil down past it without getting it on that, but I didn't manage to succeed. So what I think I have to do I've really only got two choices. I can try to get new grommets for this. Actually, I got three choices. I can get new grommets for this. Try to stiffen it up a bit. I can get a different brand of belt. These are a lot thinner than this one. This one's putting a lot more load on that than this one was. And this one's pretty well stretched out. But these were riding where they're supposed to. I remember that. They're riding in the middle of the ball that's on the end of the motor. Or the other thing I can do is I can come up with a piece of rubber of some kind and put it down here and put it down here between the motor and the frame, and see what that does. Well, the grommet on this side is not looking as good as the other side, but they're both doing the same thing. So I'm assuming that both of them are not healthy. That motor is very easy to move. So I think if I put some kind of a rubber wedge in there, I don't think it would go anywhere. And if I made it long enough to stick a tail up here, I could probably secure it with something. But yeah, but that's definitely not working right. And I truly do not understand. And they've got the grommets up and down like this. Why not put them like this if you only wanted two? And I'm not going to try doing that. Or, you know, put them on an angle like this. I don't know. It just seems like it's not the best idea. And yeah, I think these belts are maybe a little bit too sturdy. But I'm not hearing wow and flutter from these, which I bought a set of, how many, I don't remember. There's a bunch of tapes that you could get for all kinds of different sizes for $15 or something like that. I think this set, the 4 belts, was, I'm guessing now, $12, something like that. I'm not sure. It wasn't a lot. Yeah. Well, let me see what I can come up with, see if I can find a way to wedge that. But I wasn't wrong. This motor is tilted more, and the belt is riding further in than the other side was, and that's why that one, because the further you go away from the center, the smaller the pulley becomes, because it's ball shaped, and then that means that this motor, or this, is going to be running at a slower speed on this side than it is on this one. So what do I have? Okay, I actually came up with something. I use this on my reel-to-reel, my old reel-to-reel, and thought, well, maybe it would work here. So what I did was cut a piece like that, folded it in half, and I stuck it down there as a spacer. And because this stuff is sticky, it's not going to go anywhere. And when I look at where the belt is now, it works. So it's working. Rewind is working properly. So let's fix the other side. See if we can. Do the same thing there. Let's turn this back a little bit. The other one was smaller. So what I do is now, can we get in there? Oh, well. Alright, so what's interesting is this will play without a tape in it. Power on it. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, so now we'll compare the two. Come on, Aaron. So power on. So I'm going to play one side. I'm going to play this on this side. So that sounds pretty good now. Sounds the same. So, what I was looking at, put this up, was right here. Well, this space right here. Tuck on it. Alright, so I've got this space between the belt and the edge of the capstan pulley and the edge of the belt on this side here. And there's a slight difference between the two. But when I look at when I look at the small plastic pulley down inside there, and I compare the two of them, it's very similar. And as you can see, or as you can hear, the speed seems to be right. Certainly both of them sound like they're a little bit more up to speed. I can't remember what songs are on there. I guess I'm going to have to create a decent, I mean this is okay. I have to create cassette tape with with more of that music on it, so I can try different things and compare using different types of music. So I want to. I know there's one more. I think there's another piece of music after this. I can't remember which one, but let's just see what we got here. Oh, not you. It's not bad. The clarity is there, and it sounds good overall. So I guess I should maybe use this cassette because it seems to be okay, and make a test tape with it out of it. So, but it's not sounding too bad. Okay, so let's see how this feels. How's it sound? Let's see how this sounds. I think that fixed it as far as correcting the problem. One of the nice things about this tape is, while it is cushiony, it's not super soft, and I'm glad I was able to get that off. It's not going to collapse very easily. It's pretty rugged stuff. This stuff is pretty interesting because, although I folded it together originally, folding it this way, it stuck to itself quite nicely. What they do tell you in the information on this is that you want to stretch it a little bit as you're wrapping it, and that will make sure that it sticks pretty well. And it does. It really does. Typically, to get this off, you're not going to just pull it off. You're going to cut it because it sticks on there quite well. But this is, it's got a little bit of give to it. And so I think it'll work for this, and I don't think it's going to fail fairly quickly. This stuff is pretty durable. It'll last a long time. This one's clean. No. I am going to take this apart. This fog inside of this, and I was able to get in a little bit. So maybe I was. I said I was leaving. I changed my mind. Maybe I will. So you push down on here, and you push down on here, and then you try to push it forward, and then let's go. There it goes. And then once you get it just so far, you can just lift it right off, and you can see the dirt all the way around the inside of that. And you see an easy way to fix it, then you just go ahead and fix it. My problem is, if I didn't do it, knowing that I could have very easily done it, I would be disappointed myself every time I looked at that and said, I could have cleaned that, but I didn't do it. Then you go in here, and you can clean the inside of this as well. because the way this is designed, there's no way you can get inside and clean this part at all. It's not an option. Not easily, anyway. And if you try to reach in there with a screwdriver covered by a rag or something, you're probably likely to scratch this. So then once you're all done, did I get it all? No, I didn't. So I'm not done. Why are you there? You're not supposed to be. Let's see. Well, I think is it outside or inside? Yeah, it's on the outside. Then I may have to polish it a little bit if I really want it clean. Who knows if I ever do. Alright, so you drop, how this works is there's a little tray, a little cutout on either side. You drop the pins into those cutouts and slide it this way, and then just click it in, and that's it. Not hard. When I did the other side, and I did do the other side, I was a little concerned that maybe I could break something trying to do that. And if the plastic were brittle enough, then yeah, that could happen. But I decided I would try it, and it worked. Okay. Okay, so now to put this back on, there for a moment. Is oil there? Oh, maybe there was from when I oiled the cap stand. Okay, all right. So you've got two fingers like this. Just slide it through and then slide it up so that it catches the bottom of the metal frame, and then just stick the bottom in like that, and you're in. It's not too hard, really, and it does give you better access. Excuse me. It does give you better access to the things inside of there. Definitely a lot more room to work. You can go through there and yeah. All right, so put this one on. I may always put it off, but excuse me. Why are you? Let's go. Alright, should just snap in. There it goes. If you don't get it all the way up, it won't go. Put this in. Okay. Now let me just quickly throw the cover on there. No, I can't do that because I want to play with that. So I'm going to wrap up here because this is good to go. And I will be run testing it just to see how it behaves. It sounds really nice. It's got very good clean highs and good bottom end. It seems like it's a decent quality unit. The only thing I'm a little surprised at is how they supported the motor. And I guess when the grommets were new and the belts from the manufacturer, which are a little bit thinner, were on there, it probably worked fine. But the fixing the, putting those heavier duty belts on there. Probably why it needs a little bit of help. Although I do remember, actually, I do remember this one. Oh, actually, no. Okay, I know why that was. I was using this O-ring for fast forward or rewind belt. It doesn't give very much, and it was putting way too much stress on that. And it was pulling that motor in, just like these belts are doing. So that's why this side wasn't working well. So, alright. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Been kind of a surprise in terms of the things that I found wrong. Well, finding that either the belts are a little bit too sturdy or the grommets for the motor supports are too soft. One of the two. Don't know which is the correct answer. But anyway, but it's fixed now. And I did really want to get this off, and I did want to make sure I got those cleaned, because when I first got this, I don't think this would even play. Well, it did play, but these were very noisy, or this was very noisy. So yeah, so was able to get in there and get that nicely cleaned, and that's all good. And as far as I can see, there's nothing else really wrong with this. I'm also glad that I found that connector disconnected. It probably had to do with the headphones. Oh. I gotta check something. I went to get my headphones, and I tried to listen to this with headphones at one point, and the headphones wouldn't work. That's odd. And here's what was really weird. This is before I actually even fixed it. I couldn't get any sound out of it. Once I got some belts on there so I could play it, I couldn't get any sound out of it. And so for some reason I said, well, I'll just plug in headphones. And then I unplugged them and it started working. And so, but I want to know if headphones actually work on this. So power. Unfortunately, you won't hear. But that was it. Now, what's interesting? Yeah. Usually, when you put headphones in, the audio drops out, but on this it doesn't. I don't know if it's supposed to or not. But headphones are now working, and I'm pretty sure the reason they weren't working after I worked on it was because that connector back here was unplugged. I wish I'd remembered that that was a question. Well, it's not earth-shattering if that doesn't function the way I thought it would, because all you have to do is turn the volume down on your stereo and you're good to go. And this does control the volume for the headphones and the output. Anything else I'm forgetting? I don't think so. I think this really is it. I'm going to wrap up now. Amazing the things you forget, and then they all of a sudden reappear. But anyway, thanks for watching this far, and I appreciate that. And subscribe and or comment or leave a like. All of those things are very helpful to me. Thanks.